Hi everyone. We are still looking at standard form. So that would be ax plus by equals a constant. And let's take a look. Find the missing coefficient in the equation of the line. Write the completed equation. So when we take a look at this equation here, ax plus 3y equals 2. They give you that. That's given to you by the publisher. And you need to figure out what is the number that's supposed to be there. So how do I go about doing that? First of all, I'll write the equation down. All right, now second of all, let's take a look. X, there is a point here on the line, so we can use that X value, plug it in, take the Y value, plug it in, and now we have a negative A, and let me write this in because they skip a step on the writing. This is negative A plus 3 times 0, well that's nothing, equals 2. So now we bring it down, negative A equals 2. So that means I have to plug a negative A in here. Everything else in the equation is just fine. We just needed a number right here. So we have negative 2x plus 3y equals 2. That's the equation for that line. We just needed to find the missing A. All right. Let's take a look. There's your answer, negative 2x plus 3y equals 2. Substitution. Go ahead and read out this. Find the missing coefficient in the equation of the line that passes through the given point. Write the completed equation. So, pause your video and try out finding the missing coefficient in this line. They gave you x and y. Substitute in to find out that missing b value that's supposed to be right here. That's not the y-intercept, by the way. All right, pause the video, give them a try. Welcome back. Let's see how you did. You should have been able to get 3 is your missing b value. So you plug it in, negative 4x plus 3y equals 7. Take the 3, pop it in for the b. Same thing happened for number 6. Let's see, we've got a negative 7 for our a value. So you pop in the negative 7, so it's negative 7x plus y equals negative 3. All right, I will show you one of these just to make sure you have an understanding of it. We plug in, so what I do is I take negative 1, place it in for x. So let's take a negative 1 there and put a 1 in for y. So negative 1 times negative 4 was a positive 4, plus 1 times b is b, equals 7. All I did was substitute in, and so I subtract my 4, and that's how they got b equals 3. Then they go ahead and they substitute it in for exactly where it was missing, right there. All right, let's move on. Example 5. Your class is taking a trip to the public library. You can travel in small or large vans. A small van holds 8 people, and a large van holds 12 people. Your class could fill 15 small vans and 2 large vans. Write an equation in standard form that models the possible combinations of small vans and large vans that your class could fill. Now let's think about this. We're going to take a small van. How many people can fit in a small van? 8 people. So 8 people for the small van and 12 people in the large van. So plus 12 in every large van. And that will get us our total that get to go on the trip, right? All right, so we have small vans and we have large vans, and that gets us our total for our trip. So that gives us an idea. And that's what they write here. 8 small, 12 large equals, we put people for vans, P. All right. Now, keep in mind that they had, when you finished your trip, you had 15 small vans and 2 large vans. So the 15 small vans, that goes into the S because you had 15 small vans. So you substituted a 15 in there. Let me get my pen. Okay. And then you had 2 large vans. So put a 2 in there. And by the way, isn't that a point? 15, 2, X and Y. There we go. So we plug them in and we get 144 people. So if you have 144 people, we just have to replace the P with 144. Now is this in standard form? It is, even though it doesn't have X's and Y. There's your X, there's your Y, and a constant over here. All right. So we have our nice equation, and find the intercepts of the graph. Well, remember how to do those? We plug a 0 in for the x value to get the y. So if you plug a 0 in here, and you get 12L equals 144, divide those sides by the 12, by the 12, and you get L is 12. So that's 12 large bands. If you had 12 large bands, you would have to have 0 small bands. Remember what that means. Because that was your 0 for your x, so that's 0 small bands and 12 large bands occur. Now plug a 0 in for your large bands, so that means we have 0 large bands in this scenario. And how many small bands? Well, when we do 8s equals 144, divide both sides by my 8, and I get s is 18, so I'd have 18 small bands. That's another situation that could occur. I find any point on the line after I graph it, and that will give me different combinations. Now remember, x is your small band, so your x-axis is all about the small. Your y value is your large bands, so I'll write it this way. Large bands are along the y. Yeah, there you go. So 0 small, 12 large, 18 small, 0 large. This point here, 2, 4, 6. So it's 6, comma, 2, 4, 6, 8, 8. So this would have 6 small and 8 large. Okay. And you could find another point right here. And you could find any point where the graph intersects perfectly on the background. Okay? All right, so they found 0, 12, 6, 8, 12, 4, and 18, 0, all representing the different situations of how many large bands and small bands you could have to get all the kids over to the library. What if in example 4, suppose that 8 students decide not to go on the class trip? Now, I already have the answers down here, but let's go take a look at that. It was 144 kids, so now it's 136 because you have 144 kids in the original. Oops. My writing just gets worse and worse. 144 kids, subtract 8, you get 136. So that's why they replaced the 144 with 136 in the equation. And then they found the zeros, plugging in 0 for x, plugging in 0 for y, and they get all these combinations, okay? Now, I would double check this if you're not understanding. Go very carefully through it, substituting 0 in, get your number of large bands, substitute 0 in for your large to get the number of small bands, and then plot your x-intercepts and 0-intercepts on a graph, and you'd be able to get the rest of these situations. All right, that's enough for today. I will see you guys tomorrow.